Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Lainey and Ian Garlic today for the Golden Hour on December 7th, 2022. And Ian's company's video case story. And he specializes in creating customer success videos. And I'm really excited to have him today because great videos are important and they help so much in creating your persona online, helping clients find you, pre-selling clients, and overall, I think we're all just a little lazy sometimes, so it's better to see a short video than read a long paper. So with that being said, Ian, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really excited about our new partnership, and I'll let you take it away.
Well, thanks for having me, Lainey. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it. I'm going to do a quick presentation. I'm going to go really fast. I used to live in New York, and everyone talks fast, and I listen to Audible a lot, and I listen to everything at 2 times speed. And
Yeah,
so now,
I'm down with you.
and now I think everyone should talk at 2 times speed. So we're going to talk today about how to create the perfect customer story videos. It's crucial. This is probably one of the most important things that you can do. It's the thing that will help you close bigger clients, close more referrals, stop competing on price, and close 32% more deals. That's science. Millions of tested proposals will go through that it closed 32% more deals by putting on proposals. We'll talk a little bit about that too. We'll talk a little bit about your problems. Are you suffering from these symptoms? Leads that waste your time. I hear this all the time. I've got leads that waste my time. The reason is that you are not selling them enough. And I'll talk about a couple clients that did that. Leads that can't afford you. Lainey, I bet you've had clients complain about that leads can't afford me. And especially if they come in early, and that's not it. I had a client that we'll talk about that did it. No one knows why you're different. You are different. I've yet to meet a great service provider, a great business that isn't different. It's just that the way you're putting yourself out there doesn't show people why they know you're different. No one really gets that awesomeness. Lady is awesome. I love your websites. They're really, really cool. That kind of shows right away. But there's a lot of businesses that you have to show why you're awesome. And you can't just tell them I'm awesome and I provide great customer service. Everyone's saying that. So we'll go through that. And then, and you've tried everything to solve this. You might have tried long marketing meetings, and I hate those where it's like 8 hour. I've been in these corporate meetings where it's like 8 hours and everyone has to say something and they're talking in circles.
No.
I hate those. And then starting with why. No one cares about your why until you know they care about theirs. So the magic triangle, I'm just like making stuff up. We've all tried the perfect circle. We've tried all these marketing techniques, late night TV ads, maybe Facebook ads you've tried, or hiring your TikTok star niece for ads. And none of that's worked. And like the latest tactic can work, but wouldn't it be nice if you could just have big prospects call asking, when can we start? I hear this from our clients that use these videos all the time. People just walk in going, not how much are you? Not I'm going to compare you, but when can we start? I had another agency I worked with that is social media for brands, and they got one of the largest airlines walked in the door and said, hey, and didn't walk in the door, but walked in their virtual door and said, when can we start? The airline, not proposal. I hear this from attorneys all the time, doctors, dentists, clients, and prospects repeat your stories. It is really cool when someone walks through their door you've never met before, and they're telling you your stories back to you. And prospects say, you're talking to me in the marketing, right? That's what we want to hear, is your marketing says, hey, I feel like you're just speaking to me. And regularly close more referrals and leads without crazy tactics. There's so many, we see all these people online going, hey, I'm going to make you $10 million today. And they have a tactic that worked once. Solid fundamentals are the key. Great website design, great SEO, great videos incorporating it are the key. And the key to all this is starting by listening to your customers. I don't know if, Lainey, do you recognize where that trash can's from?
No.
So There was this guy that owned, started a new business. It was a business like nothing else before. And he would sit, he was wealthy. He was already very wealthy, very successful. But when he started this business, he would sit at the front door of his business and watch everyone walk in. Now, he wasn't counting the money. He wasn't counting anything. He wasn't, worried that there were enough people coming through. He was counting the number of steps that they took between the time they ate a hot dog and they threw away the wrapper. That was Walt Disney.
Got it. I was going to say Disneyland.
Yeah. And Walt also, to keep the park clean, invented this trash can. He invented the flat lid trash can. The reason this is important is because he listened to his customers. Up until the year he died, he was still walking through the park, collecting customer stories. If you watch Disney Channel, Disney is advertising with customer stories. Roy Disney famously said, branding is for cattle. And because customer stories are everything. And the reason he said is because they would talk about brand is important. Colors are important. But when you have 18-hour meetings about your brand and you're not listening to your customers, you're wasting your time. Mm-hmm. Listening to your customers is absolutely crucial. Mm-hmm. And your client stories plus video are the solution to a lot of this. They will help improve even great websites, improve the conversion. They'll help manage your online reputation. They'll help you get more leads. And we'll talk about ranking in the 2 biggest search engines too. Mm-hmm. This is one of our clients that does podcasts. They have a case story on their homepage. This has text overlays. We did it remotely, but it's a story. It's not saying that they're great. It's a story. It's a story. We'll talk about that. So we're moving pretty fast here. You also notice an 80s branding. My wife loves the 80s, and I love
the 80s. Oh, and just by the way, Robin Creaso just popped in on the call. She's one of our clients. So
hey Robin,
estate planning law firm.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, if you have any, hey Robin, if you have any questions along the way, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
And Robin, we're gonna do something fun with you. Robin, have you ever done video before?
No, and I don't like the sound of my voice or the way I look on video. So you'll have to convince me.
Well, you can start with your clients, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, and that was one of my questions is when you have a practice like mine where you have confidentiality and all of that. I mean, obviously you have to get consent for the client to participate, but what if they don't want their face? What if they don't want their name?
A great question.
I love that question.
And I will answer for you in a little bit.
Keeping you on the call.
I'm keeping you on.
On the video.
We're going to talk about why testimonials are actually hurting your business. And my cold email trick, 12 places to catch more of the fish in a barrel and actually 10x your return on investment. I'm going to give you our video distribution course, the fish and barrel course, for free, and 6 elements to the perfect video case story. Like, these are the elements that every video case story has to have, and our system for creating those. A few stories I'm going to talk about. You might recognize a couple of the people. Fran Tarkenton on the far right, NFL first. I think he was the first quarterback in the NFL Hall of Fame. His own 30 companies. These are all our clients, except for the one in the middle. That's young me. I was a consultant in New York. But here's the thing: 500 touches. That is what Google says a prospect encounters you 500 times before making a decision. Now, I know that sounds absurd, but think about how much time you spend on the internet. And you might see an email from them. You might see their brand someplace else. You might go watch a couple of their videos. You go to their website a few times. The bigger the decision, the more you're going to check that out. Well, they said an average woman will do 250 touches before buying a pair of jeans. A pair of jeans. We do 10 searches before buying toilet paper. This is your opportunity. And YouTube is the social network that'll be a part of that journey everywhere, because more and more we're spending time on YouTube, not just on our phones, not just on our desktops, but at home. I mean, my son has YouTube on our home TV all the time.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. And we're researching there. But then when we research, we also encounter other things. And, here's some stats. Videos, according to PandaDoc, I had them on our summit a few years ago. PandaDoc is proposal software. Hundreds of thousands of users, millions of documents, videos on proposals close 32% more deals. That's an instant 32% raise. And you might say, hey, I'm a lawyer. I don't do proposals. Yes, you're sending out retainer agreements. You can do those electronically. You can have client stories on there and close more. The YouTube is number 2 most search engine by far. TikTok is quickly becoming number 3. The About Us page is usually the second most used page on the website. And here, if you go look at your website stats, you'll see that everyone goes everywhere else. They go to the About Us page, then they go to the contact page. It is a highly converting page that you want to have yourself and your story on there. YouTube is the second most used perform platform, fastest growing app. 8 out of 10 videos that appear in Google searches come from YouTube. You get to double dip. Video can show up in the search engines. 72% of customers want to learn about a product or service by way of video. You're an attorney, Robin. You know what people are buying? They're buying you. They want to hear your voice. They want to feel like they know, like, and trust you before they walk in the door. And, I know you don't like your voice the way I didn't like mine. The way you get used to it is by doing video. Viewers are chained 95% of message, 80% Facebook and LinkedIn videos are viewed without sound. This is crucial because design of the video is absolutely crucial too. We'll talk about that. But here's the thing. Stats, case studies. No one remembers stats, right? Well, I don't remember numbers. You might remember one of those numbers. You're not going to remember a whole lot of them. Client stories plus video are the solution. This is an estate planning attorney. You can see here, this is a customer story. If they would just put a testimonial up about how great they are, they wouldn't have gotten this engagement. They had 40 clicks, love. You can see at the bottom, 5 comments, 16 shares of this client story. And it's a story, and nowhere does it say how great the law firm is. Nowhere does it say how experienced they are. But inside of it, we are telling a story that reinforces all their issues. Yeah. And
I love this.
Thank you.
So many lawyers get just like, when I see the quote in a pretty heart or whatever, that like script font with the quote in a part on the Instagram or whatever, it's just like no one's reading.
No. And it's just noise, and you don't get distribution. You don't get likes. And you know what happens actually, as you know, when you don't get the engagement, the rest of your posts get less engagement. And so their page now gets more engagement because of these stories. So when they put out other information, they get more engagement. Look quick about me. I've created over 10,000 videos. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've produced over. I didn't do them myself. I've done the interviews and strategy. I did 90 case story interviews in 2019. 2020 was a little slower. I don't remember why.
Right.
But I've been doing this for 15 years. I love the fact I've worked with lawyers, doctors, dentists, but we work with lots of marketers and agencies. They come to us for this because it's like being the lawyer's lawyer. I love that great marketers know to come to us. I've created 10 marketing courses, authored 3 marketing books, made a lot of mistakes, sometimes twice. I'm stupid like that. And I've hosted 400 episodes of my podcast. Hopefully Lainey will grace me on there soon. But the point of this being is all this stuff goes into what you're seeing here. All right. This isn't the simplicity that you see here is because we've tested and tested and tested. And we've created amazing strategies. Gino Wickman, founder of EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System, author of Traction. I was really proud because he never did video before and he didn't want to be on video. And when I told him about our strategy and went through our strategy, he really understood the process and the science of it. And he's working with us for years now. And there's awesome Lainey. Branding. I know I said, branding, but she does branding the right way, really about stories and content. SEO, thinking about that holistic approach, and getting that big idea, finding that big idea through the customer stories and then communicating it through the website. And she loves journey and golf. That sounds like fun. Do you do both at the same time?
I can even drink a glass of white wine while I'm doing it. That would be 3 things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite white wine?
Oh gosh. I mean, there's so many, but I like a Sauvignon Blanc, like a crisp Sauvignon Blanc for sure. It's approachable and easy.
Nice. And now I'm thirsty. Thanks.
Yeah.
This is our website, videocasestory.com. these are some of the things that we can do. We do strategy we do remote or live interviews, design, case story videos, and then we can create about us videos, team bio videos, which is absolutely crucial, service commercials. There's a whole lot other list of videos. We do YouTube optimization. And it's why we work with awesome people like that do websites. So we can help incorporate these into amazing websites, beautiful websites, and help improve the websites. And the websites help get more video views. It works well together. And you can go to get our free Fish in the Barrel course and a few other things at videocasestory.com/Laney. And there's a quick client list. You can see we work with Guardian Lightem Association, Fran Tarkenton. I love working with Fran. He's amazing and so cool that he was the first athlete on Saturday Night Live. The guy's been in, he was the announcer for the Olympics. He knows video, and they came to us for video strategy. Accountants, fulfillment companies, other agencies. We've worked in coaching and consulting, legal, healthcare, SaaS, manufacturing, accounting, financial services. We've done the stuff for things like slot die coding, which is crazy intricate, but customer stories make it happen.
Yeah.
So here's the problem. People think they have testimonials. Testimonials are not stories. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh I loved it so much. I read the book.
The book is amazing. Have you read the book As You Wish, or listened to it? Got to listen to it. Mm-hmm. It's the making of it, and they have all the actors on it. So good. But testimonials are not stories. And testimonials are actually hurting your business. I said they're not stories. We think in stories. We buy stories. When you buy something, when anyone buys from you, they're telling themselves a story of what the results you're going to get. They give you no insight. You're not going to be able to invent that trash can. You're not going to improve your business by just getting a testimonial. But when you listen to your customers, they're going to give you insights. Worst of all, testimonials are about you. No one cares about you. They care about what you can do for them. No one remembers numbers. No one, we talked about why we don't use case studies. The worst part is they check the box. You get a testimony and you're like, oh, I'm done. You're not improving your business. Brett Mayer was an attorney. He said people couldn't afford him. We put case stories on its About Us page. Now, this past year, he actually said, hey, we need to take we're going to take the phone number off our website. I'm like, you can't do that. It's like, we're getting too many phone calls. Because he was really expensive. He's an expensive criminal defense attorney. And when we start putting great stories throughout, people realize the value of working with him and why he was different. Compan is a playground equipment company, but it was more than that, because they were making it accessible and really worked with their clients to be a part of their community and attract their community members. And none of that can be said just through a playground equipment catalog. And they were able to not only create amazing case stories and inspire more people, but they use those case stories to get in with other schools, with other areas, and to sell them new projects. Tarkin and Financial, we had to overcome, because Frank could sell anything. He was famous, 30 plus companies, but it can't be just about him anymore. He's 83 years old. There's going to come a time when Fran's not going to be able to do this anymore. I don't think that's time's anytime soon, but so we had to incorporate their client stories to say what else the rest of the team did. And PACE is a school for girls that people don't understand what they do. It's a nonprofit. And we were able to use their stories of the people that they help, of their team and the community, to help them have their best fundraising year ever during the pandemic. And then Stephen Mesa used case stories in health sales. And he's in healthcare. He owns a bunch of healthcare clinics, and used them in his marketing funnel. He dropped one of our video case stories that we'll show you into the funnel and 4x'd his return on ad spend. 400% increase improvement. But it's not a get rich quick strategy. You're going to have to dedicate time and effort to this. So there's all these things that case stories can do. Laney, what are these pops out for you? Which one would you want to do?
Let's see here. What's that interesting? I think what we always try to do with the branding and the website is to pre-sell. And I think that's what the videos does
Mm-hmm.
is
Yep.
pre-sell, right? And so if we made a bunch of videos, put them on Robin's website, someone needed estate planning litigation, how would these videos that we create, they could call and say you're hired?
Yep.
Right. So
And
would
that's
that be close the ghost story or the ghosts?
well, that's, you know, there's people that ghost you, but you can,
Oh, okay, got it.
yeah, you know, you can close more proposals, you can get better leads, increase your authority, and increase the conversion of your website. There's
Yeah.
definitely increase the conversion of your website.
Yeah.
But you have to have the right hooks.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is a lot of people just slap a video on there. You have to understand what that person wants and needs at that moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you talk to your clients about cold, warm, hot. There's cold clients out there have no idea that they just know they have a problem. They don't know that they need estate planning litigation. They don't know that they need a better website, or maybe they think they may need a better website, but then they're warm. They're looking for an attorney. They're looking for a website design agency. Then they're hot. They know about you. Each version of that story has to be different. And then you need to market to your current clients too, to get more referrals. And that's what stories can remind them of and get those shares that we showed. But to get all that, if you're going to have the right hooks, you've got to plan it out. And we have a tool that I'm going to show you called the case story tackle box, that you plan out your customer stories. You've got to plan out which ones you want, what stories you want to get out of them. If you don't plan that, it's what I call the bad lawyer syndrome. Imagine if you're sitting there waiting for if you're the client and you're waiting for your attorney to come in and you have this big, huge case, you're at the end trial, the first witness is about to come up, and in walks, a not even a paralegal and says, I just downloaded some questions from the internet, right? You'd be freaking out. But that's what people do with their customer stories. They're like, oh, I downloaded some questions. Here, paralegal, here, intern, go talk to my customers, my best customers, about their stories. No, you got to plan out what you want to get out of them. And let's, how do you do research? Like if you get a referral, you're doing a ton of research about anything, aren't you? You're Googling it, you go to the website.
A minimum, or look at their Yelps, or if they have Yelps or any ratings, or, or I like to, go on to a different browser, maybe not Google, to see if there's anything shady. Yeah,
exactly. And you Google it, you Google their name plus reviews, you Google the people that you're going to work with. And then once you connect with them, you want to see more information. And these are all the places that we should have customer stories. This is what we call our fish in the barrel. This is my son, Max, and he realized quickly that he didn't have to go out into the middle of our lake to go fishing. There are a lot of fish right around our dock because that we feed them, and they know that that's where the food is. And so he started, just fishing around the dock and paying more attention around the dock and feeding the fish more, and start getting bigger and bigger fish. And that's what we all can do. We all want to go out and get the leads, but there's clients just swimming around, referrals swimming around. And that's your fish in the barrel.
Someone's getting them. It might as well be the people that are good, right?
Yeah. And that's why you need to have client stories on your website homepage, on your About Us page, your Contact Us page, your services pages, the Contact Us page. That's right, when people are ready to talk to you. Have a client story in there. As soon as they contact you, send them a client story. And then follow up with them and have them optimized for your name. And then also retargeting. Facebook has an incredible ad network. Your client stories can literally surround people. And your YouTube channel. People are on YouTube. They're doing research about you. They're going to go check out your Facebook page. And LinkedIn, I think, is a super powerful tool that most people are doing wrong. But if you put your client stories on LinkedIn stories, you're going to get likes. And so I've got a free course on that. But let's do something real quick. Robin, do you want to be a guinea pig, or Lainey, do you want to be the guinea pig?
I'll be the guinea pig. Sure.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to share. We're going to go through what we call our tackle box template, and I'll send this to you when we're done, because you'll get, actually, this is our whole strategy. Because what we do is we go through customer stories, and then we get their cold, warm, and hot hooks. We help to create a video SEO plan, and then we actually go through, and for each customer story, we pull out hooks and angles and say, these are the types of videos, these are the places you need to use them. But let's start here. if you don't mind, on the low end, what do you think an average client's worth to you?
Oh, you mean okay. Well, I would say the average case that where there's, a heavily litigated trust or estate dispute,
Mhm.
um, usually if that goes to trial and maybe through appeal is on average probably $500,000
Wow.
over the course of the case.
Wow. Let's just put, yeah, we'll put here,
Could be more, could be less.
and we'll just put here that on average, and we'll just put one, because you're not, hopefully they're not going to have a whole bunch of these cases with you.
Yeah, it's we don't get a lot of repeat business, but we do get clients referring other people to us.
Exactly. And when they refer to you, they're going to look at all these places, right? They're going to look at your homepage and your About Us page. So even if you were to get one client every 4 years, let's say from your website homepage, your About Us page converts one more client every 4 years. And then your Contact Us page, every client every 4 years, your services page, because you get specific in the types of litigation that you're into. Whether, maybe it's a will contest. I know there's a ton of different things that are going on, and I can't think of all the cases on top of my head.
I mean, the fact you knew that there's will contests, that's great. I mean, you're already on top of it.
I mean, I've seen some crazy estate planning cases, estate litigation cases, and especially like elder fraud, type stuff. Yeah, some sad ones. We worked with a client, and sometimes they're really sad, sometimes they're really happy. Email nurture, just reminding your clients that you're there. You get one client every 4 years. Having them ranking for a name converts you one more client or converts a client faster. Retargeting is essential, especially for something like this. Now, they might know they have a case. They might go do research. You want to be able to follow them around if they don't talk to you. And so with the Facebook retargeting pixel, anyone that hits your website, you can follow around with your customer stories for a year. Now we see those annoying ads that are like brand, come, call us now, call us now, call us now. But everyone gets annoyed by those. But if you have great heartwarming stories or intense stories, people are going to pay attention to. So let's say we get one every 4 years. Your YouTube channel, when they check you out every 4 years, let's say you don't get anything from Facebook and LinkedIn, you get a referral from another attorney every 4 years. That's a possible 1 year value of $1.25 million and a possible low end value of $5 million just by increasing conversion. It seems crazy, but we hear this from our clients all the time. So that's just the basic places. Now, if you optimize these properly, you can have them ranking in Google and YouTube. There's a lot of places, send them out to referral partners, that type of thing. We're doing a lot of stuff with that. So I'm gonna stop share and then share. And let me just go real quick to here one more time. So there's that course there. If y'all are watching, we also will send you 50 ways to use Visio case stories, because you can use them in operations for hiring, sales, improve client results, train salespeople. There's a ton of ways to use this. But here's I'm just going to quickly go over the elements of a great case story. Connection, conflict, conclusion. Why should I care about this person? What was their problem? What was their transformation? That's a story. Them saying you're great, not a story. We know why we like the person. And the better we get at these things and telling these stories, the better off people will pay attention to them. We want to have hooks and angles. What's going to grab their attention, and what's that concept? If it's customer service, I was working with another company the other day, and they said they have great customer service. We did the case story interview. Their client said, watch this. They pick up the phone, call, and the owner of the company answers on the video. That's showing customer service. So the angle is great customer service. The angle is you're a great litigator, right? What does that mean? You know what? Like you telling a story of dismantling someone that was on the stand. That would be a great hook. Then we also want to have moments and emotions. What was the moment that something happened? We want to paint that picture. And how did you feel? I'll tell you, if you get really good at this, and we do, this is one of the things our case story interviewers are really good at, is finding this. But if you do the story right, this is the moment that people start crying. And like when I do case story interviews, it's funny because people are like, if I go to an office and I'll get done and everyone will be like, did they cry? Did they cry? Did they cry? And people are like, I'm not going to cry. And then they end up crying. And this is the secret to it. And then you want to design it for the moment you're using it. Cold, warm, or hot. Cold, meaning they don't know that they have a problem. Our leads dried up. Warm, they realize that they need a new website agency. Our website doesn't convert. Hot, the design boutique transformed our online presence, and now our business is better than ever. Right? There's 3 different versions of that same story. These are all the steps. We'll send this off to you, but we go through an extensive steps when we design this. Set your goal. We set goals first. You have to set goals. And then you review the stories and you craft the questions based on the stories and collect those assets. We design the questions for it. Always ask for stories. Never ask for testimonials. And you've got to follow up. We follow up 5 to 10 times to get someone on. We interview, we transcribe audio, we review strategies, we create an execution plan. You identify those hooks and angles, and we'll send you over. You'll get a copy of the tackle box. You'll see how that works. We edit the video. We add dynamic text. Here's the thing. Most people are viewing these videos without sound, especially on Facebook and on LinkedIn. You have to have dynamic text to engage them. Put it to the right channels. We design for the channels, and then you got to review them and reuse them. So we're kind of the easy button. We do it in 60 days. You can learn more about it at videocasestory.com/Laney. Also, we'll give you an opportunity. We'll find out your case story opportunity. We'll go through that fish in the barrel. We'll give you the ROI checklist. We'll give you an action item checklist. We guarantee every time someone talks to us that we'll get them one thing that will make them at least $2,000 to $3,000. We'll give them one piece of advice that they can do. Because we just all about providing value. And yeah, and we'll get you a case story creation checklist. We'll give you a ton of stuff, and that's all free. So you just have to go to videocasestory.com/Laney. Usually we charge about $500 for that. All right. I talked a lot. I talked fast, Laney. Sorry.
It's awesome. I mean, I think you bring up some really great points. And, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the golden hour today is because I know a lot of people that make good videos, right? Yeah, they make a good video, right? But like, we're not looking, my clients, my colleagues, my friends, they're not looking for good videos. They're looking for videos that convert. And one of the things that I love about your work is the strategy associated with the video. You're not going to just make 10 videos and then they're going to post them on YouTube. The creation of the story has to do with the optimization and the strategy of it. And that's where I love where a lot of people drop off. So it's virtually like there's no risk for my clients or colleagues because there's going to be an ROI on it. It's not going to just sit there.
No, I mean, we have clients. I had a client that called me up. It was like a case story that made, it was a dentist 9 years ago. And they just got a woman called up and said, that spoke to me. And they got a $15,000 case out of it 9 years later. And if they're designed right, their stories, when we first started, we could make a video, put it up, and it would make money. That day is long gone.
Yeah. Well, and I also think too, I mean, maybe Robin can mention this, like, I guess one of the points that stops someone from signing up is like, I don't want to do any of the work. Right. So it's like, how much work would a law firm actually have to do this, right? Like besides pay you and be filmed or not filmed, like what's their responsibility? I think that'd be a good question.
Oh yeah. So, and then to a point, Robin, once you introduce us to a client, we can say, hey, will you share your story? It can remain anonymous. We do it over Zoom. We can disguise your voice. We don't have to use your face. A lot of times people, when they they want to tell their story. They don't want to tell the testimony. They want to tell their side of it. So once we give you text to use, there's a certain way you have to ask. There's an art of the ask, but the big thing is, hey, would you mind sharing your story of working with us? And people will say, yeah, because you don't want them thinking about testimonial. Once you introduce us, we take it from there. And the only thing you have to do, you have to get on the strategy call, which takes about an hour. But even inside that strategy call, the case story tackle box, it's a huge eye opener. I was just working with accounting for a huge accounting firm, $18 million accounting firm. And, they've been around for a long time. And just in 20 minutes, we helped to identify their unique proposition really quick by talking through a customer story. We've found additional lines of service. But once you get through that hour long, you just have to introduce us to people. We do the interviews, we review them, we make the strategy, and we say, hey, this is what we think you should do with it. And then you say, yeah. And then we edit down the audio and we send you over a transcript and you read it and you approve it. That takes you 15 minutes. And then, so all in all, per case story, I would say 35, 40 minutes of your time, because we do everything else.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. And at the outside, right? And what I love about these two is because you probably have bad days. I have bad days, where clients are like, oh my God, you're the worst person ever. You're doing this all wrong. But it's great to have the case stories, because once you go review them, you're like, oh, I do good work. I forgot about that. I have transformed people's lives, because we're so focused on what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So approving this actually makes you feel good. It's
Yeah.
not like I get it, Robin. I have clients too that just don't want to see themselves on video. I do suggest you get on video because they want to see you beforehand. Right?
Yeah.
But this is the place to start.
Yeah. All my videos on my SEO page are people talking, and I'm not on any of them. So
Yeah. But
yeah, I just like it. I like how it's like one-stop shop too, because I feel like a stopping point for a lot of people is like, I don't want to do it. What am I have to do? Fill out this thing. I don't want to do it. So yeah.
And we work closely with, like with Lainey, with other agencies, and in executing the strategy, what their strategy is. So we're not overlapping. We're not doing the wrong thing, and we're not doing two different things. We want it to be tightly knit. And that's why I love working with other agencies, because they're great at what they do. I don't think everyone can be great at everything. So we make sure it's tightly knit and work together pretty closely.
I mean, I think you bring up a good point too, which is like, when I hear people talking, and maybe I'm just being judgy, which I am, like, we do social media, we do videos, we do SEO, we do website design, we do pay-per-click, we do I'm like, how do you do all of that?
You can't. I mean, I work with people like you, the best at what they do, and they realize that there's no way that they can do all that. I mean, you might be able to find one person that's really great at it all. Usually they're making $1 million as an influencer.
Right. Yeah. I think some people, like a lot of law firms, get seduced by that though. They'll like push all their cards to that, well, they'll just do all of this stuff, too. But it's like in the legal industry, if I hear a lawyer say, what do you think about this, Robin? I do a little criminal. I do a little bit of litigation for estate planning, or I do a little bit of medical malpractice. You're like, what?
A little bit of medical malpractice.
Yeah, just aside.
That's like being just a little bit pregnant, right?
Right. Like we're going 80s. But,
exactly. I had a judge say that one time, actually, one that I was working for. It's pretty funny. You're either pregnant or you're not. You can't be a little bit pregnant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, I think, as an attorney to do that. There are generalists, but it's very old school, like, hey, I'm going to hang out my shingle. I'm going to be a small town lawyer, do everything that comes to me. I don't know very many lawyers that do that. Most of us have an area that we specialize in.
Yeah.
Well, especially estate and elder law. I mean, that changes almost daily. It's like, I'm like, oh, how do you keep up with that? And family law too. It's like changing daily. And then, and it's such different skill sets too. And that's like us. Content is different skill set than running ads, and it's a different skill set than design. And like, I see it, people, for a long time, I tried to find a designer developer. There's no such thing as a really great designer and great developer.
It's different sides of the brain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Each one, so, well, cool. Well, Ian and I are doing another presentation tomorrow for the Silicon Valley Attorneys Affinity Group by chance. It just kind of added up. So we'll be talking more tomorrow, but
Yeah. And that'd be
Really
awesome.
great presentation. You know,
Thank
I
you.
think you really just went over some highlights, nothing too heavy, you know, boring. So I really appreciate you bringing that to the table, you know, because I want everybody that we know in our sphere of influence to, once they make the leap to do video, to make sure that they get that strategy. Because I know I said it already, but it's just so important. I hate seeing those videos with like 2 likes in 5 years, you know?
Yeah. No. I mean, you can, if you, there are certain videos, I'll admit though, that have 5 likes that have made hundreds of thousands of dollars, but they're so niche. But if you answer the perfect question at the perfect time, you can make a ton of money. And I bet you, Robin, you have those questions out there. Like, and I have a few of those. I have attorneys that we've helped them rank for like certain very niche questions that we found. And then we're like, I get so many calls because of this.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of lawyers that do what I do that have blogs. You know, they're very active on LinkedIn. And I find that you know, I'd rather just spend the time doing work.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said for that, for putting yourself out there. And I definitely respect what they do and read it. So
Yep.
and people like video, like you said, it's easy. It's quick.
Well, and also now people don't believe reviews as much. So it's like, that's why you have to have the authentic video, and it can't be like, because I live in the land of fake testimonials in Florida. And it's like, we have billboards everywhere. And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. We're not billboard attorneys, and we're not, I mean, all of our business really is word of mouth, and we have a website,
sure.
but it's more of an informational website. I know Lainey's probably cringing right now, but we had a big debate about it in our partnership. And right now it's just informational, because you know, all of our referrals come from other lawyers and other, you know, through clients that are either here with us now or were with us before. So it's interesting. Great presentation.
It's a
Thank you.
process. It's all a process, you know, so. All right. Well, with that being said, I'll turn off the recording now and we can chat a little more. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you.